Hello everyone, for the build guide for the Unearth Cremator build. This is the build I used for the 60 Simacron project. It did the sheer arrogance challenge for doing all the 10 invitations with the height of hubris active. And right now we killed 6 out of the 7 Uber bosses on our first try. The only one I failed to was Cyrus because of the spawn thing he spawns in the middle, and then mainly the degent on the final phase kept killing me because I couldn't see anything with this build. Because when you start doing this during a fight, you can't see anything. So the degens were a big problem when I did that. But I'll probably do Cyrus later. We did 100% deli map with this build, no problem. And so the builds overall can clear pretty much everything pretty easily. But just want to go over the quick build guide of it. There's going to be no gameplay in this video because I've already put up 2 videos of gameplay already about the build. And there's no, the map, this build just destroys maps, so there's no point in showing anything about that since there's already been many builds, or 2 videos already about it. But, going to give a heads up, the build is expensive. So, you're going to need a couple hundred X if you want to get close to this version. You can probably go on a cheaper version by getting this lower tiers of everything, but it's going to be still expensive overall. I just want to give that heads up in advance. So the Spectre is pretty much a damage pen resistance one, increased elemental damage, and then the reason why it's a pain in the ass to get, this league is a little bit easier, but it's pretty much a +1 all spell skills with +1 all fizz, with a Aisling slammed prefix, which is the increased fire damage with chance to ignite. So, and then the suffixes is just multi-mod trigger with double damage. It's extremely expensive. I think I've got this for like 38x when these normally go for 50 to 100x. So just give you a heads up on that one. If you can't afford something like this, just try to at least get one of the +1s because it's all about pumping up your pretty much pumping up your Unearth because it's what scales a lot of your damage with the monster life. And then your Unearth, Cremator on top of that. So this is how boost both of them. But the weapon is pretty much your bone offering, wave of conviction, and combustion support. Because it's pretty much this is what gives you your chance to block, gives you max block on both. This when you get your bone offering up. So bone offering is pretty much up 100% of the time. Helmet, this thing is really expensive. So what I give the helmet is I actually crafted this myself. I just bought a Hubris Circuit 86 with the Unearth spawns corpses with 5+ levels on it already. And then what I did with this one is I just went to harvest. Same with the belt. It was just pretty much just every time I got defense, I just threw it on the helmet and see what I got. This one is the best one I got over a while. It was the double. It pretty much was a T1%, T3 flat, and then a T4 percent with stun block. It's not the best rolled, but it's still not bad. If you want a better version of this one, I would say probably ditch the %ES with the stun and block one and try to craft, I think it's +1 to AoE gems, if I'm correct on these gems. Yeah, AoE, yeah. So like +1 AoE is also really strong, given extra levels of discipline, your purity of elements determination for more defense. But this is what I got, so I just kept it. And then the suffixes, I pretty much just did the expeditional currency? Yeah, expeditional chaos on this. And I got lucky and I got a T1 intelligence, and then I just exalted slam with expeditional currency again, and I got a T3 resistance I needed. So then I just crafted the second resistant. That was pretty easy to do. You don't need the T1 intelligence at all. I just got lucky on that one. You know, get resistance, get stats, get whatever you need on this, because mainly a lot of your items are stat fixers. Like this is a dex stat, fixes dex, fixes strength, dex and strength, which you can't really roll on the hubris circuits, but you know, if you get like a double resistance, then craft the attribute if you need to. Like use the helmet to fix whatever you need on the suffixes. And then this is the part where it gets really expensive, is the T6 mana reservation with the T4 cast speed. Or T3, T4, doesn't really matter, but mainly getting the T6 mana reservation helps a lot because it's pretty much what gives you a lot more mana unreserved. You don't need T6, but it's just more quality of life. and it's extremely rare to hit mana reservation. I think I did this with the third one, but the third, I believe. Yeah, I think I did it with the Grands. Is this Grand or is this Expeditional? Yeah, like right now mine's only a T3 cast speed. I didn't go for a T4 cast speed on it because it was so expensive already. And getting these in bulk is going to be expensive, but cast speed's pretty easy to hit. So like go for it if you want, but you know, just go for your mana reservation first and then go for the cast speed second if you want to go that route. Shield, I guess, or oh yeah, helmet, enlighten, determination, anonymous, purity of elements, and then a anonymous valid discipline, just for more damage. Agus aura, you know, best shield. Pretty much Defiance banner, Divergent Tempest shield, and a Flame dash. Ash of the Star, this is your best in slot amulet because of the mana reservation. It lets you run all your auras, pretty much. And then, you know, quality of gems gives you more quality, especially to your Unearth, which is really big. And then you don't need to experience one at all. And Charisma, mana reservation. All about pretty much getting your mana reservation out in this build. Chess piece and Cannon Heart, I think it's called, whatever. But pretty much, you know, element damage is chaos, life, armor, ES, you know, overall strong shield. Pretty much this is what your Phantasmal Cremator is. You know, you have your Awakened Fire Pen, Hypothermia, Anonymous GMP, Awakened Elemental Focus, and then Divergent Inspiration. You know, upgrade these gems to the Awaken, which is really cheap anyway, and to the Divergence and like Anonymous, you know, over time. I recommend though, buy your Phantasmal Cremator to start with because you need the Phantasmal because it gives you your chance to explode nearby targets doing the fire projectiles. So it is needed with the build. Your rings are pretty much your curse setup. You can run a one curse setup ring if you don't have the like if you don't have your Forbidden Flame and Forbidden Flesh jewels, just run one curse. When you get this Forbidden Flesh and Flame combo going, that's when you go to set a double curse ring. This way. So like one ring was my resistance fixer, and then one ring needs to be an unset ring because your unset ring is where your Purity of Ice goes. So pretty much, you know, the rings, it's pretty much just one's an elemental weakness, the other one's a flammability on hit. And then, you know, one of the rings, you know, use both rings to fix your stats. You're going to be extremely dex and strength starved. That's why both of mine are pretty much dex rolled. Like, and this one has attribute on it, modifier on it to get more strength and more dex out of it. You know, and pretty much with the rings, like, this one's not even done yet. And you want to cast non-channeling on both of them when you have the currency. But what I'm trying to do right now is keep suffix harvest prefix with a defense orb to at least, or defense harvest to at least get a flat ES on it. I'm already about 20x in on this ring and haven't hit, and I've hit T10 and I hit T9 once. And every other time was I think it was invasion. So it's expensive. If you want to go that route, do you need the flat ES in the rings? No. It's just more quality of life. That's all it is. And then, you know, if you can get resistance, go for it. You know, use the rings to fix, you know, same thing, resistance and stats. That's what it's all about. Like this one, too, is the same thing, pretty much, just with a stat fixer. This one's a resistance fixer. The boots, I'm about 20x in on these boots also, on the bone offering. If you have the currency, go for a T6 bone offering. I gave up after spending 20x on trying to do it. But you always want the bone offering and life regen per endurance charge. Just helps you with your survivability. Pretty much the boots are the same thing. It's pretty much your movement speed, you know, a lot of your ES comes from. You know, get resistance on them. This one has intelligence, which you don't even need. It was just what is on there when I got the boots. Mainly, I think when I bought these boots, I was just looking for sorceress boots with 30% movement speed and some type of resistance and energy shield on it. And this was what I found the best one I could find. Then I just finished it from there. But it's pretty much your cast damage taken, bonus shell combo, then your faster attacks with your shield charge, which I rarely use. I use Flame Dash more, but it's there as your main way to move around. Your Stygian Vice, this is probably the best slot if you don't want to use. I would say between this and Mage Blood, you probably can look at if you want to go a Mage Blood route. But do you need Mage Blood this build? Not at all. Stygian Vice it just helps because Stygian Vice gives you a lot of strength, which is what you're. You want them. You want Stygian Vice because you get the extra jewel slot to give you your more fire damage spells, more ES, hinder, cooldown recovery rate. Like if you want to go that route, it's just another stat fixer. The belt is pretty much, a massive strength roll, percent ES, flat ES, resistance. That's pretty much this one. I just slammed harvest defense on this also, and I got lucky. Pretty much, I was just looking for a T1 increased maximum ES percentage with any type of flat ES on it. I got stuck with a T7 roll, and I was also trying to get a strength roll on top of it also. I got lucky with this one. This one took a long time to get. It's extremely rare to hit a T2 or T1 strength with T1% and then some type of flat. It's extremely expensive. So I got lucky on the harvest on this one, but buy it, need it. It's mainly the same thing, fixed stats. Gloves, these are pretty. You can buy it pretty much the suffixes already done in these gloves and just finish the prefix for like 2x. But pretty much just buy +1 strength gem and dex gem. Do you need intelligence +1 gems? No. It's just, there's what most of these gloves go for, especially with combinators being around. So it was pretty much easy to buy these. And then to finish the gloves, all I did was suffixes cannot be changed, Veil Chaos Orb on it, and then either look for +2 level of socket AoE gems or +2 level of projectile gems. Both of them work just the same. Either one you get, just take it. And I Exalted Slam, sadly, a T6 and 1 to 2 fire damage. So it didn't really matter. Just you mainly just want the +3 on the gloves. Especially getting +5 alone on the gloves alone, which is the big part of it. Because all of the +5 goes straight into your Phantasmal Unearth, which is what you're trying to boost the crap out of. Because the higher your Phantasmal Unearth is, the more damage you'll do, because it's more monster life. So if you're gonna start the build, I recommend get Phantasmal Unearth and get Phantasmal Cremator to start the build. Like once you get those 2 gems, then start playing the build. Without those 2 gems, I would not play the build. So Phantasmal Unearth, Anonymous GMP. I forgot what this is. GMP. Awaken Enhance and Awaken in Power. So you don't need to, or whatever, it doesn't matter with Awakens. It's pretty much level 4 Enhance and Empower. If you have more currency, go for level 5, but it's extremely expensive. It's just more, the more you boost up your Phantasmal Unearth, the more damage you do. And then Flask setup, it's pretty much a Dying Sun for more projectiles, more AoE, Granite, more armor. And then with these flasks, you want to get the gain charges when you're hit by an enemy because you're always going to take damage. So these 3 flasks will pretty much go off 100% of the time because they're always going to be full. But you have armor flask, you have your phasing flask, or permanent phasing pretty much, with your immune to bleed and corrupt the blood. And then you have your usual movement speed flask. And then you have a Taste of Hate to get the fizz damage taken from hits taken as cold, because you have 90% all res, so it's another defensive layer. That's it for that one. And then skill tree. So it's pretty much your Necromancer build, your Gluttony, Corp Pack, Plague Bear, and Mr. Sacrifice. The usual Necromancer setup. So pretty much the builds, we'll start this way. It's pretty much, go this way, down here. This is where, so Forbidden Flesh and Forbidden Flame, you want to get the Malediction one. This is what gives you the additional curse. So if you have both of these, get the second curse on the ring. If you have one, don't have them, but just one curse. Down here, mana reservation area with increased damage for every herald on you. ES. Over here, the bone offering setup for increase the effect of bone offering. Elemental damage leeches ES. Over here, the elemental wheel. Your CI, increased mana reservation wheel. Cluster jewels. So this one, I think both of them are the same actually, if I'm correct. Display heart status. Yeah, so both cluster jewels are the same exact ones. You know, the storing display, prismatic heart, and status. So pretty much heart and the status are your main two, and you're gonna at least want to take one, this distorting display. I have the Megalo right now that covers that, but before I had the Megalo, I honestly just had this one selected because it's the same thing. And then you need at least, you want one medium cluster with cremator and smoking remains for more damage and create the smoke cloud. And then ignite enemies killed by you are pretty much destroyed, so you don't have to worry about the porcupine effect. And then more damage. Watcher's Eye, it's pretty much the 28, oh, it doesn't matter the number, but pretty much energy shield gain from attacks. Pretty much it gives you just ES gain all the time, and then also your chance to block with determination. So this jewel, naturally affection or whatever it's called, the one that gives you natural patience, you don't need this jewel. This jewel is only if you're doing simulacrums. If you're not doing simulacrums, I would not take this jewel. Because once you have this jewel on, it makes you super slow. Like you see the vines on me right now with the plus 10, so I move slow now until they all break off. This is for simulacrum because when you have the vines on you, pretty much you get a 2% chance to deal double damage for every per vine. You always have 10 on you, so it's a 20% chance to deal more damage, double damage. And then also a 10% chance less damage taken. So when you're doing against simulacrum, just standing still, it pretty much just lets you sit there and face tank all simulacrums. If you're not doing simulacrum, just drop this and take a regular jewel. I was using this jewel to start off with. It was pretty much just a ES jewel with spell damage, fire damage instead of this jewel. That's all it was. Shit. So the other half of the tree is pretty much your chance to block, meddling the flesh to get your 90 all res. The fire cluster up here for enemies covered in ash. You know, your discipline mana reservation with your discipline area. The second cluster jewel, the same one with the forbidden flame. So you don't need this megalo. Before I had the megalo, the build was doing just fine. Clear way simulacrum. I only got the megalo just for Wish of Death, just because I was doing wave 30 carries. It just helped having the calling strike to do a wave 30 carry when you have like 2 to 3 people in your group. It just saves a couple seconds. Is this needed? Not at all. If you don't have the megalo, just move the 4 points you get from this. All you're gonna do is take this store and display, put it there, and then put like a jewel I had to go there, and like the other 3 points you have, just put them wherever you want. This is level 99 build, so you're gonna have high points to fill in, like ES. Like I think before I hit 99, I took the ES nodes down here off. I took like this point out. Like there's points you can put in. Like if I got level 100, I would just probably put it like that's my level 100 point. But like, if you have the extra points, use them as you need them. If you want to get a megalo, you can really just look for Wish of Death and Destroying Display if you want to save the point. This pretty much to save the 2 points you put like right there would pretty much take these 2 points and you just cut one more point, take the top one. That's the whole point of reason I had this. And I just got lucky and I found one with a 10% increase AoE. So it pretty much just gave me I think like a 22 to 23 AoE. So like one more increase AoE, I just took it to say screw it, why not? Have the extra points. Zealot Oath, more block. The second mana reservation cluster. You have your red nightmare down here for more. This is a block one, I believe. Yeah, for more block chance. So you have your armor over here, and also this gives you your chance to gain endurance charge on kill. So this pretty much gives you max endurance charges. So 4 endurance charges at all times. And then when you have the regen the boots, you're regenning not up permanently. Elemental damage on this side with increased effects. Your divine shield because you Agus aura. And then your armor cluster again. And then bandits kill all like always. Oh yeah, down here too. Over here, elemental overload, and then your reduced mana cost of skills. Because right now, like, get out of here. Unearth it costs 6 mana, and Cremator costs 8 mana. So it's extremely cheap to play with mana costs. Trying to think what else. What else? We want the gems. Trying to think of anything I miss. Oh, so apparently this build came from my chat actually. Someone was playing this like a level 87. I think it was like 86, running away 3 smack rooms. So the build could definitely run away smack rooms at a low level. And I think he was killing most bosses also at a low level. I think people were saying that Cloudy made the build. I'm not 100% sure who made it. But they were saying Cloudy, the person who I took this build from, took the build from Cloudy. So maybe Cloudy was one to design the build. I don't know for sure. And if this build, if you're watching this in a league after 3.18, the build might be more expensive or not exist the same way. Because a lot of the thing depends on, does Recombinators stay or not? So if Recombinators don't stay, the weapon and the gloves are only 2 pieces you have to worry about. Everything else is just as easy to get. It's only these 2 items are going to be the hardest ones. Because I think with this, the Spectres, people are just recombinating +1 Fizz and +1 all together. And then taking the Aizling chance to try to hit the triple prefix. If it's a future league and there's no Recombinators, I would say just look for a +1 Fizz or spell. And then, try to Aizling slam the fire damage on it. At least have a +1. Is the cheaper route. With the gloves, if this is, if there's no, what you want to call it, Recombinators next league, just look for one of the, because they're underground mods anyway. Just look for like a +1. I probably would say the Dex one, at least hit 3 year gems, get +1. I mean, you won't get the Empower +1, but you still running level 3 or 4 Empower anyway, will still be okay. So I would say the Dex one's probably the most important one. And then at least that would open up, get Dex on, or Strength on this. You can get Resistance. Might help a little bit more that way too. But like every other piece of them, even though if there is no Recombinators in a future league you're watching this, there should be no problem crafting every item. Hopefully they make Ashes a little bit more common to drop, because Ashes is extremely expensive. I'm trying to think of anything else on this build. But like everything else is very doable. It's just mainly like those 2 items. But like every other item should be 100% attainable in future leagues without a problem. But I think that's it for this build. Because I'm going to do it right now. I'm not going to sell this build off yet. I'm going to use this build to run challenges. So we're going to try to finish off any challenges I can with this build that will need like more of like a conditionals or anything like that before we start doing our maps. Because after I use this build to get what I want to get done with challenges, we'll sell the build off, sell anything else I have off, and then probably play one more build this league as a speedy map build, which I do want to play. Because one build I've been wanting to play for a while, I just been holding off on it. But like right now with Recombinators, this is probably the best league to play the build, due to the fact that Recombinators add there's certain Sentinel mods that make the build really strong, and recombinating one of the chess pieces mods onto a chess piece could be very beneficial for the build. So I might want to try it out. It's gonna be expensive, but I want to have fun with this with it. And it's a build I wanted to play for a couple leagues anyway. But that's the end of this build. If you have any question about it, put in the description below. I'll try to answer best I can. If you like the build, subscribe on below. Follow me on Twitch. If you have any questions, if you playing this build, or if you know who created the build, put that in the description below so I can put credit towards them. And the build does good. It's not the fastest mapping build though, but it can actually destroy bosses. Like Uber Cortex was an absolute joke. It doesn't do that well, I would say, on rare invitations than these 2 on Uber version. It's not the best. Regulars are no problem. Uber Maven's very doable. I'm trying to think what else. Trying to think. Uber Zeri, be very careful. Uber Zeri will kill you if you if you hit the mirror for the reflect, you'll die instantly. Trying to think. Uber Elder, I suck at the fight, but it's very doable. This build did Uber Cortex and Uber Shaper, witnessed by Maven by accident because I forgot to turn it off. And like Uber Cortex died within seconds. Uber Shaper was real easy with what you want to call it? It was real easy with the Maven Witnessed. Even though you had 3 Shapers on the screen at once, the build still took Shaper's life down very quickly. Need to try that one again. Mavens we did. All the Fear Invitations were super easy. Cholula, no problem. I think what else? I think that's it really. But hope you liked the video. Hope to see everyone on the next one. Thank you everyone.